people. Very beautiful morning, beautiful afternoon, and beautiful evening to every one of us. How are we all doing? Guys, I know we're doing amazing, all right. So in today's video, we are going to continue our series on evidence based, and we're going to be talking about tap water versus saline. All right, before we dive into the video, I've done a video on A to E assessment of homelessness and the care plans. I've also done a video on fall and fracture and the care plans. I have posted it on the channel member, so if you fancy watching that video, all you need to do is to click on the join button. When you click on that join button, after clicking on it and doing the needful, it's going to take you to where you can watch the video. So that video, I've posted it for channel members. All right, so if you fancy watching it under care plans, do the needful and go and watch it. All right, guys, so today's video, we are going to be talking about saline tap water versus saline. Guys, we've talked a lot about evidence-based. We've talked about the use of honey dressing for venous leg ulcer. We've talked about smoking cessation. I have done a video on all this. Just go and watch it. We've talked about restrain. I did a video on restrain. We've talked about pressure ulcer. I've done a video. We've talked about diabetes. I've done a video. We've talked about female myocardial infarction. I've done a video on that. So in today's video, I'll be talking about saline versus tap water. Without wasting time, let us dive directly into the video.
Ryan Little.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. How are we all doing? All right, so before we dive into this video, I'm super excited for those of you who have passed your Osce exam. I got 22 mails and I'm so proud of you all. Make sure when you pass your Osce exam, make sure you comment on the YouTube channel, and I appreciate sending me mails, don't get me wrong, but if you comment on the YouTube channel, it's like an encouragement like to other people. Okay, all right, I'm just a bit out of the way that I don't know it as well. All right, so let's go to our video. We're talking about saline versus tap water, one of the newly added evidence base. I'll be giving the scenario now, but I'm not going to be sharing the scenario on the screen. Okay, so just listen to the scenario, then pop your answers. I'll also be giving the answers. Okay, so sorry guys, so for the scenario, we have evidence-based practice, saline versus tap water. Our overview says, please read the scenario and the summary of the research below. Please identify the main point from the summary and apply the findings to the scenario below. This is a silent reading station. Please write clearly and legibly. You have 10 minutes to complete this station. Now, this is now our scenario. So the scenario says, a retired nurse came to do a leg dressing, and while you were about doing the leg dressing, she confided in you and said she feels that tap water will not be best and beneficial for her dressing compared to saline water. A retired nurse came to the facility where you are working to do a leg dressing. Just while you were about doing the leg dressing, she confided in you and she said to you that she feels that tap water will not be best and beneficial for her dressing compared to saline. Article summary. A systematic review in a well-regarded peer-reviewed journal investigated the following. Study A reveals that trials comparing the occurrence of wound infection when cleaned with tap water or saline showed no difference between the two. I will take it again. A systematic review in a well-guided peer Review Journal revealed the following. Study A showed that trials comparing the occurrence of wound infection when cleaned with tap water or saline showed no difference between the two. Study B reveals that tap water is very cost effective. Study C shows that there is no evidence on the effects of tap water or saline on wound dressing. Now, identify the main point from this summary. I have always said that when answering questions on evidence-based and professional value, that you should make sure you follow your marking criteria. However, you can use the words any words you want to use, but make sure it has the same overall meaning. All right, so make sure it has the same overall meaning. Now, these are my answers. Number one, I would inform Mrs. Ailey that trials comparing the occurrence of wound infection when cleaned with sterile water or tap water have showed no difference. I would inform Mrs. Ailey that trials comparing the occurrence of wound infection when cleaned with saline or tap water have showed no difference. Tick. Number two, I would inform Mrs. Ailey that there is lack of available evidence on the effect of saline or tap water on wound healing. I would inform Mrs. Ailey that there is lack of available evidences on the effect of saline or tap water on wound healing. Tick. Number three, I would inform Mrs. Ailey that there is no difference in patient satisfaction in either group. That means whether you use saline water or you use tap water, I would inform Mrs. Ailey that there is no difference in patient satisfaction in either group. Also, there is no enough evidences as regards pain experienced by the patient or adverse effects. I would inform Mrs. Ailey that there is no difference in patient satisfaction in either group. Also, there are no enough evidences as regards pain experienced by the patient or the adverse effects. Tick. I would also inform Mrs. Ailey that there were no standard criteria for assessing wound infection which limited the results. I would also inform Mrs. Ailey that there were no standard criteria for assessing wound infection which limited the results. Tick. And finally, I would inform Mrs. Ailey that tap water is cost effective for wound healing. I would inform Mrs. Ailey that tap water has been recommended as cost effective for wound cleaning. I would inform Mrs. Ailey that tap water has been recommended as cost effective for wound cleaning. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in another video. Until I see you again, keep being the best. I love you all, and bye for now.